Shane Bishop with the EWWW Image Optimizer, and today we're not going to talk about the EU Image Optimizer. We're going to talk about our other plugin, SWIS Performance. As you may know, recently we released SWIS 2.0, and one of the big goals with version 2.0 is to make sure we can defer all JavaScript and script resources to make sure they're not render blocking. And the biggest thing we did with that was to defer inline scripts that normally can't be deferred, so that way all of your scripts execute in the correct order, including your inline scripts, and they all execute deferred. That is after the page renders. So the page renders and then the scripts run, even the inline scripts. And so that was all great, wonderful, except it broke on a number of sites. And this last couple of weeks we've spent investigating why that is, and so I want to share some updates with you, as well as encourage you at this point, now that 2.0.1 has been released, to check your JavaScript defer exclusions or your optimized JavaScript loading exclusions. And if you have any at all, to let us know, and we'll see if we can fix those so that you don't have to have any exclusions anymore. So first off, the problem. In this particular page, I have a slider from MetaSlider right here. And as you can see, it doesn't look very sliderish. And that is because it has an error. And to find that error, we go right-click on the page and hit Inspect, which opens up the Chrome Developer Console or Developer Tools, and we click on the Console tab, and we see there's errors. And so that's obviously not what we want to see. The main error is invalid or unexpected token. And if we refresh, then it shows us exactly where it's encountering the error, and we'll ignore this. This is my test script, as well as this being related to the Slim script. That's another error that we fixed in 2.0.1. But this is the main one that we want to look at, because this is the MetaSlider JavaScript. As you can see, when I hover over it, there's MetaSlider. And if we click on that, it has this, and then it stops. Well, whatever is after that single quote is an error. So we go, well, what is that? So we view source, right-click view page source, which takes us to this. And here's what it looks like in version 2. So it takes the inline script and puts it into the source attribute, because only scripts with source attributes can be deferred. And so what we've done is we've used a data URI to put the inline script into the source and defer it. The problem with that is this guy right here. The hash character, or the pound symbol, does not like to be in a data URI. And in fact, there are a bunch of what are called reserved characters that sometimes don't like to be in URLs at all. But in particular with script URIs, there are reserved characters, and so the trick was to find out, well, which ones cause issues. There's a whole list of them over at the MDN website, and this is from an RFC on reserved characters. And so this is the full list of reserved characters and how they should be percent encoded. Short version, most of them don't matter for script data URIs like we're using in SWIS. The only two that actually matter are the hash, the pound symbol, and the percent symbol, because it is used for percent encoding. So if you had %25 in your code, that would break things unless you encoded the percent symbol. So that then makes it work. So those two, and then we also, just out of an abundance of caution, added a couple non-reserved characters, the angle brackets. So with 2.0.1, I will show you here in a second by updating. And you don't get to watch me do this, sorry. It's in a different screen. Add new, upload. I'm going to upload 2.0.1 and install that. And now we will see what this has done in the source. So if I refresh, you'll notice that we no longer have a plain hash symbol, but we have %23, which, as we know from the list, is the encoded version of a hash symbol. And does it work? That's the big question. And so we refresh, and now everything works. And there are no errors over here, and our slider works as expected. And we can scroll through our images, and everything is happy. So the goal with version 2, as I said before, is kind of no script left behind. We want to be able to defer every single script, even inline scripts, with SWIS, so that way no scripts are render blocking, and you can have a faster page ultimately. So if you do have any exclusions in SWIS for optimize JavaScript loading, and you want to fix that, let us know and we will do our best to help you work through that. You may just be able to remove them. Of course, keep track of what you had in there beforehand, but go ahead and try to remove them, save your settings, and see if it works, because a lot of those old exclusions should not be needed with the latest version. The other big change that we made had to do with the use or the inclusion of data for JavaScript inside of a script tag. And so notably one plugin that does this is Yoast. And somewhere on this page I have some Yoast. Oh yeah, that's way up here. Some Yoast data in here. And so you'll see stuff like type equals application LD plus JSON, or so plugins will have type equals text slash template, and so all of those sorts of things are data script tags. And so now SWIS will not touch any of those. It will only touch a very selective group of inline scripts that are known to be actual JavaScript code. It won't touch any script data, and so that should help as well. So those are the two big changes in 2.0.1. As always, happy optimizing, and if you have any questions, hit us up at support@ewww.io. I will also include a link to the %encoding docs in case you do find any scripts on your site that are using these characters in a little bit different way than maybe what I tested, and it is breaking still. You can have that for your reference, and we can help you investigate those and help improve SWIS so that no script gets left behind. Have a good one.